My name is Louise People, and today we are discussing how well-managed IT can give cutting-edge advantages to businesses. So I'd like to introduce Edel Creeley, my guest today, from Trilogy Technologies. Edel, lovely to meet you.
Likewise, Louise.
So we hear lots of buzzwords, we hear talk about the cloud, and I'd just like to know how IT today is responding to the ever-increasing demands on businesses.
Well, today IT is offering a lot of new opportunities for businesses, and businesses therefore need to be able to take advantage of those. So IT has now become a very strong enabler for organisations to do business in new ways.
So how are organisations responding to these opportunities that are arising?
Well, let's think about the CEO. What does the CEO primarily look for from IT? Well, he's got two core things. Principally that it will enable his strategic objectives, but also that his business will be secure. Security being very high on the agenda of all modern organisations. And then let's think about the CIO. Well, what is the CIO challenged to do today? Well, there are two core areas that he must think about. He must think about the applications, which are going to support the business objectives, and then the underlying IT infrastructure, which will make sure that those applications will be always available. So delivering an always-on IT infrastructure.
Well, we've established that the CIO have enough to cope with, but how do we empower them?
Well, the way we can do that today is by offering new ways of servicing and supporting that IT infrastructure for the business, by working with IT service partners who can provide a truly managed IT as a service as a support to the CIO, so the CIO can be comforted in the fact that his IT infrastructure is secure and flexible and scalable, and that he can then focus his energies on the business applications which will meet then those strategic objectives of the business.
So your company is one of these partner companies. How do we sign up and start to work with you? Can you give us a step-by-step description?
Well, we've got a simple 5-point step process that we work on with our clients. And quite simply, it's around advising them on the right solutions for their business, on designing that solution, then implementing it, managing it on an ongoing basis. And then what's very critical is the whole analysis. So making sure that the IT infrastructure is always on, is fit for the purpose of the business, and that will be able to perform at optimal levels and then respond to whatever the business is demanding of it in the future.
And how long does this process take?
Well, the process can take anything from about 1 to 4 months, from initially starting the engagement right through to delivering a fully managed service to the business.
Clearly there'll be interruptions in workflow. How does a company set about preparing for this?
Well, we wouldn't see or envisage or plan for any interruptions in the daily business workflow, and that would be a core part of the implementation plan.
Okay, so how does managed IT as a service differ from IT services and traditional IT support that we're familiar with?
Yeah, well, the traditional IT support was always a very reactive one. So in other words, the service provider was waiting for a call from the customer to say something was wrong. Nowadays, the more proactive services should be actually always monitoring and managing the infrastructure, making sure that it's performing at its best, and actually heading off any issues before they may even occur. And with modern technologies, we now have technology which can be used to manage technology, and therefore that makes the process a lot simpler.
Reactive, proactive, can you be a bit more specific there?
I'll give you an example of an organisation that engaged with us, an insurance company, where the CEO was very frustrated with a lot of the problems and issues he was having with his business IT infrastructure. And he just purely wanted his IT to be available so that he could focus on driving the business forward through using new ways of doing business. So he brought in a new CIO, and that CIO firstly looked at the IT infrastructure and said, what we need is a partner here who can build out and manage for us on an ongoing basis that ideal infrastructure, so I can then put my energies into supporting the CEO with business productivity applications that would be real winners for that business.
So Trilogy being that partner?
So we were that partner, and we took them from a very reactive type of service to a proactive service whereby we're managing that infrastructure on an ongoing basis and making sure that it's always fit for purpose. And that business is now driving forward and growing and scaling and not being held back by an underlying infrastructure which is not fit for purpose.
Wonderful. Well, let's now move to the future. Let's look at Trilogy in a 5-year plan. Where do you see Trilogy?
Well, the complex landscape that we work in is changing all of the time. So I would expect that it's going to demand more and more of IT, CIOs and of the IT service partners that they work with. So they will continually be expected to be innovative and flexible in how they're providing these secure and scalable services back to the business.
Some exciting challenges ahead there for you. Thank you for your time, Edel.
Thank you, Louise.